You need to focus on yourself. So many of us, me included, because, you know, I'm just a human just like you on the other side of the screen, worry too much about other people, their opinions on us, what's going on in their lives, what they want to do with their lives, what their goals are, etc, etc, etc. And it doesn't serve us to have all of these thoughts about them when we need to focus more on ourselves. If we want to take the next step in our life, to making our life that bit better, to achieve the goals that we have, we've got to focus on ourselves. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. My first point on how we focus on ourselves is to work towards a goal of your own choosing, own being the key word. Now, I'm sure you'll be familiar with the idea of your parents sort of directing you down a certain path, whether they suggested to you of what university you could go to, what college, what job you should get, whether you should take on the family business, all these sorts of things they may have suggested to you as being a worthy goal to have. And so you may have adopted this goal and started working towards it. But in essence, what you're really doing when you work towards this, what I'm going to call an adopted goal, because you adopted it from your parents, is you are living the life that your parents want you to live. This is not the life that you want to live. Do you understand? I hope you do. I'll say it again. If you are working towards an adopted goal, so a goal you have taken from someone else, you are not living what you want your life to be. You are living what others want your life to be. And look, it's so easy to end up doing this, because, you know, when you're young, you want the recognition from your parents, and so you'll do what you can to get that recognition. But if we are to focus on ourselves truly, we need to define our own goals. We have one life. That's all we get. So what's the point of working towards goals that other people want for us and that aren't something we genuinely care about? So you have to work towards your own goals. I will give you a personal example to help drive home this point. I have a goal to try and help and encourage people to take the next step in their life so that they can get that bit better. They can make the improvements that they want to see in their life. And I want to do that by encouraging them, by making these videos, by giving advice where I feel I have the knowledge to give advice on, so that anyone who may watch this video, even you on the other side of the screen, will feel better equipped to make the next step. You will feel you have the courage to make the next step. And whatever that may be, whether it may be launching a YouTube channel so that you can do something similar to what I'm doing. Maybe it will be to subscribing to a gym, getting a gym membership to finally start your body journey. Whatever it may be, that's all I want to do. Is I want to help give you the courage. I want to encourage you and give you advice where I can so that you can make the next step. That's truly my own goal. That's not a goal I have adopted from someone else. It's not, my goal is not to go off and work a big company because maybe when I was younger, that's what my parents told me was good, and that was a worthy goal to have. So my goal is not adopted, and because of that, it allows me to focus on myself. I'm not living the life someone else wants for me. I'm living the life I want for me, and I'm doing that through choosing my own goals. So that was number one. Number two is to work without regard of what others think. And I know it sort of sounds a bit dangerous, and what I'm not saying is to do whatever you want, because some things are bad and there are things we shouldn't do. I'm not saying to do bad things. That's not what I'm saying. What I mean when I say work without regard to what others think, I mean, if you only work on something or because someone else thinks it worthy, that links back to the first point of an adopted goal. And then on the reverse side, on the flip side, if you choose not to work on something because someone believes it not worthy, they believe it to be cringe, then again, you're living to someone else's expectations of your life. And it may hurt to hear, and it definitely does, because it stings when you hear this, but that's an ingenuine way to live. And look, you're human, I'm human, we're gonna end up falling at some point, falling short to some of these things, having some shortcomings. I'm just coming here to try and help you understand how to focus on yourself from my own experience. So please, I'm not attacking you, I'm just trying to help encourage you through my own experience and advice. So yeah, just define your own expectations for your life. What do you want? Do you want money? Do you want deepened relationships with family, with friends? Do you want to find a girlfriend? Do you want to get better with women? Do you want to improve your grades at school? What are your expectations of yourself? Is it to be a provider, a protector? Whatever it is, just make sure you're working on whatever it is you've set out for yourself, your own expectations, and don't worry what other people think. There will be people that don't agree with what you're doing. There'll be people who do agree with what you're doing, but if you only work on something based on what others think, you'll never truly work on what you care about. Because there'll always be someone, there will always be a naysayer, there will always be someone to tell you what you're doing is bad, is cringe, isn't good enough, is not worth the time. So at the end of the day, just make sure you're choosing to work on something that you yourself have chosen, and without worrying what a third party might say or might think when looking on at your work. Again, this channel, there'll be people out there who will come across it at some point and will think bad of it. One time before I had all of my, I was doing videos before and I had deleted all of them because I thought, oh, screw this YouTube thing, I'll try something else. But at one point, I had a string of, I wouldn't call them hate comments, I would just say that they weren't nice. That isn't as a way to put it, for lack of a better phrase. So they didn't appreciate what I was putting out. Not because it was bad in itself, they just thought I was cringe and I was lame for what I was doing. But I kept going because it's something I wanted to do. And I've come back because it's still something I want to do, even after I took that time off. When I came away from it thinking, oh, this is a waste of time, it's not helping, people think it's stupid, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm focusing on it because of my own defined goal, I now have the expectation that I need to contribute to the people that may see this video to encourage them. And that's genuine. I'm working on it because it's my goal. And I'm going to continue to work on it without worrying what other people may think. Because I know in myself that what I have to say on certain topics can be of use to anyone who needs to hear it. And that was point number 2. Work without regard to others. Basically meaning work to your expectations, not to someone else's. Sorry, if you see me look down, it's because I'm checking the points so that I don't end up ranting on about sort of slightly related topics that aren't quite related to what I want to say. My third point, which happens to be my final point, before I get into it, I just want to say if you have made it this far, I really appreciate you watching this much of my video, and please do subscribe if you want to see more. Hit the like button if you enjoy the content. Comment down below anything you want me to talk about, anything you may need advice on, or just your appreciation, your thanks, your thoughts on what I could do better, anything. Please do put it down below. But to finish the video on my third point, the third point is you need to draw the line between where work becomes someone else's and not yours. What that basically means is at some point there will be a task that you may feel is your responsibility, when in actuality it's the responsibility of someone else's. And by trying to complete that task, you're focusing on their responsibilities rather than your own, therefore detracting from the focus you can put on your own life. I'll give you an example. There's a book called The Courage to be Disliked, and in it uses the example of a parent and a child. Now, the parent may feel it's their responsibility, their task to get the child to study, when in actuality it is the child's task to study. Because at the end of the day, the party involved that feels the repercussions, the results of inaction and action being not studying or studying, is the child. The child doesn't study, they feel behind in class, they get told off by the teacher. They do study, they'll be able to keep up with the class, they won't get told off by the teacher. So it's them whose task it is. And by the parent trying to get the child to study, the parent is intervening with the child's tasks. And therefore the parent is no longer focused on themselves, but on their child. And I know that that sounds like I'm saying don't focus on your children. I'm not saying that. Obviously raise your children. And it is obviously your choice on how you go about your life. If you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to follow it. I'm just here to speak to the people that want to try my advice. But that's just an example, right? So you just find the line where something becomes someone else's task and then leave that to them. Don't try and do the work, other people's work for them. Draw the line as well so that they don't come and try and do your tasks. Because if someone else is doing your job for you, you kind of have a duty to focus on the outcome of that result that they're doing, because the responsibility does, in the end of the day, lie on you for the quality of that work. So, draw the line, and when it becomes someone else's job, stop worrying. Refocus onto what is your job. And that is how you can focus on yourself. Rather than focusing on the work of other people, you focus on what you have to work on. And again, that brings focus back into your life, and you can then focus on yourself. You can focus on taking the next step. You can focus on making the progress towards the goals you have outlined for yourself based on your own expectations of your life, or of yourself for your life. And that is what I had to say on focusing on yourself. Again, if you did enjoy the video, please give a thumbs up. Helps the algorithm spread this to more people who may or may not need to see it. If you want to see more from me, just subscribe. There'll be more stuff on similar topics, or just, again, more of me trying to encourage you to take that next step that benefits you. And if you have anything you do want to say, please feel free to leave it down in the comments, good or bad. It's up to you. I can't influence you to try and make what you're going to say better or worse, so I'm not going to worry about that, and I'm going to focus on myself and putting out some more good quality content. But that's it from me. I'll see you in another one. Bye.